Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. The whole Sean Strickland, Theo Vaughn interview, emotional breakdown, and revelation of his childhood. It's kind of a trip, man, because I think he's talked about this maybe before, but not like
playfully, touched
yeah,
on it.
touched on it. But he was like sobbing, crying on the show. That was a trip to watch. And man, it seems like in fighting, you have to be damaged. Like 90% of people, or 95% of people, maybe in fighting, are damaged.
Bro, we get
Broken
locked in the
way.
cage to punch each other for money.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some trauma or something, or some need.
100%, 100%.
But I can piggyback off that too, because like I was telling him about a certain situation that happened when I was younger.
Yeah, we're not getting
Yeah, we're not gonna get in it. But I would say this though. When I was younger, I was fighting a lot, but not like normal fighting. It was like I had an older cousin that I looked up to. Like he was that person. Like he was a gang member, like the biggest one around. And he was like, I was probably 13, and he used to point at people and say, go fight him. And I never lost. And he used to just go say, go fight him, go fight him, go fight him. I used to get off the bus and fight. I used to be in school, like he would just point at people and just tell me just to do it. And I was so dumb. But it's like it kind of breeds you into this mindset of like, I don't know, it's almost a form of trauma structure, if you want to put it that way. But I can understand where Sean Strickland is coming from, because just off of those incidences, it kind of branched off into more trauma, So, I mean, I don't fault him for being so open and emotional and vulnerable. It's kind of the tough guy act before that is what makes it so bad, because he was always like, oh, that's gay, or this, and then he comes out and starts crying and stuff. Like that's what made it bad. It just wasn't that. But yeah, I could 100% understand his trauma and all that stuff, because even me having like a stepdad, I used to come home and it's like guns everywhere, and it's like pit bulls, and like he just like make the pit bull jump on me, and you know what I'm saying? It's like crazy wild stuff that you wouldn't even ever think of, but it's like I wouldn't take it back. It made me who I am, and it bred me into me,
You ever think that maybe the reason why like Strickland feels like he can be more open maybe with that trauma is because he feels like he made it now? Right? So he's like, oh, I made it. Now I can be more open with like myself.
Yeah.
Or even like maybe it's not like a cognitive thing, but he's like, I'm a champ and this is me. Like I feel like he's been more like kind of more open about things in general.
Yeah.
Right. So it might just be that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like and I think as well with trauma and with like, let's say, past history and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of the times it's like people will push it deep down, and then once it gets brought up, it just flows out. I think that's what happened to him. Might be some stuff there he hadn't talked about, might be some stuff there that he never never addressed, let's say, and he starts talking about it, and all of a sudden all these emotions are coming out, so exactly. I think could be.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's funny you say that, because I used to do that exact thing to my younger brother. I would like make him fight people in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like, but he won most of his fights.
Yeah.
Like the one kid that he lost to, like he became best friends with him. You know what I mean? Like but yeah, the kid that he just had the speed, man. The kid he lost to his best friend. He became his best friend.
Like,
bro, you don't
like
it was blood sport.
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like,
I feel like
bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah,
no wrestling and everything.
And like I feel like as well, like in MMA and any sort of, let's say, fighter, or I feel like a lot of us are adrenaline junkies in a way. I chase that feeling, and I remember like as a kid. Now I'm very fortunate with my mother and father. were super supportive of me doing jiu-jitsu and MMA while I was growing up. But then there was times on the street where some kid would have like came up and a fight would have happened or whatever, and like I always like loved that feeling, like just before, like, you know, there's a few guys around and we're about to like go down and throw down and all. I always remember like as a kid just being like, yes, this is what I want. You know what I mean? But then like it's like I got guided into making something positive out of that feeling. Does that make sense? It's like I feel like as well, like back home, like not around where I live too much, but like all around kind of Dublin, you have guys who might be chasing that feeling as well, but they're doing it, let's say, getting chase off police and like, you know, doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, robbing stuff. I find it's very similar in that kind of feeling, but it's like you can either guide it towards something positive, and try and make a living out of it, or sometimes people aren't as fortunate, you know, and don't have the kind of guidance at home, and they might make something not too good out of it, spend time in jail, you know.
I was only just starting to get into fights at school, and I got in a fight in rugby and everything, and then like I met my mentor, and he was like, "You need discipline," and then kicked the shit out of me all the time. But hey, I got discipline, you know, and I learned how to, you know, fight, train, teach as well. But
and now I feel like, to be honest, I consider myself quite like a game guy, but it's like now that I fight for a living, it's like I found myself like maybe like a year, 2 years ago in positions where I could have done it, like fought again or whatever, and it's just like because I do it for a living, because you're not too pushed in, you know what I mean? Because it's like you know, like I have the self-control to know what I do every day and know like what I could do to someone that doesn't do the sport, you know what I mean? So it's almost like a not a satisfied feeling, but I'm gonna say like I'm not me. Maybe 5-6 years ago, I'm in a completely different headspace now. Exactly, you know what I mean? 100%.
Being able to handle yourself. I think being able to handle yourself though usually leads to you knowing how to talk yourself out of a situation without having to use the skills.
100%.
Yeah, self-control is big, especially growing up. You understand, like when I was younger, when I fought, it was risk of jail, it was risk of this, it was all this. Now if I fight, bro, I'm grown. That's time that's gonna be wasted. You know what I'm saying? That's energy wasted. You know, I don't got time for that. So it's just about making the right decisions and doing the right things. And like you said, knowing that, bro, if I fight a random person on the street, I'm gonna hurt this man. No matter if I was 5-0 or 1-5, just for me having combat experience, I'm gonna hurt this man. So there's no point.
No, definitely.
It's not even fair.
Yeah,
no,
it's
not even fair. Like, it's like they're in water and you're on the boat and you're shooting at them with a shotgun.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Bro, we play murder every day.
No, what you're doing. You can play with them. You can shoot it to the side. Scare them a little bit. You know what I mean? But eventually you're gonna, you know, have to like take the dude out and whatnot. That's why I trip about like people that train. Even me, you know what I mean? I train, but I'm not like a fighter or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But I know if I like fought somebody, I know what to do.
But look, that's the thing. The difference in between you just knowing how to throw a punch, and people not even knowing.
That's what I'm saying.
Makes all the difference.
So even like a Walking Dead situation, you know what I mean? Like even me, I would do a decent job surviving. Just because you run into people that are just like vulnerable.
Yes.
And it's like you know, you come across some like I'm gonna say delusional people that it's just like if I was to do this and I was to do that, and it's just like in my head I'm just like, you and your delusions can go over there.
What about
anyone that trains sport now?
What about the dudes that's like, yo, the streets is different. It's like, yo, the streets are gonna be worse for you.
I was gonna say, have you ever heard the Boss Rutan, like some of Boss Rutan's like stories about he would do like old seminars, and this is before like everyone was like good with jujitsu, and like he had one where he was like doing an RNC on somebody, and they were like, I would poke your eyes out or something, and he's like, I'm gonna break your fucking neck if you touch my eyes, like, and like, so he like went behind them and he goes, go for my eyes, like, and see what my response is, because my hands are around your neck. And they're like, oh, never mind.
Exactly.
And he was like, yeah, man, like, I never got that. Like, hey, I can kick you in the nuts. Yeah, in a street fight, I can do that
as well
with my jujitsu
Yeah.
on top of it.
Yeah.
Like,
but as well, it's like if you another like getting back into it, it's like you think about the training room, a cage when you're fighting. I'm gonna say that's a controlled environment.
Yeah.
It's a controlled environment.
100%, yeah.
Because it's like if I'm training, me and you are rolling or we're doing MMA and I catch something and you have the ability to tap. If there's no one there to stop me from breaking your arm, putting you to sleep, you know what I mean? I'm on top of you, hitting you. Like there's no one there to actually like stop it. It's just like
Lord,
I don't think people like really like do understand that.
you ever see the online street fights where the guy does tap? And they're like,
Yeah.
you ever see that?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
yo, man, this is on the streets. What do you think? Like, you started this, friend. Like,
This arm's getting broken. That arm's getting broken.
Yeah, like I remember seeing like a video on like Instagram. It's like some guy hasn't been on seeing obviously like fighting over something, man. The guy taps and he goes, "Nah, you going to sleep." So, and he screams until he went to sleep. But like that's like it's like that's the type of environment that you're gonna be in. It's an uncontrolled environment, so unpredictable things will happen.
they're sitting there looking for a referee. It's like, no.
Yo, there was like this house, right, of dudes. They're like in their like late teens, like 18, 19.
Mhm.
You know, some of them go to school, some of them, you know, working jobs or whatnot. And these all of the dudes, they all train though. Like they all train MMA. So even their garage is like set up with mats and shit. They're training and they're training each other, all of that stuff. And these dudes would go out to parties all the time together. And these, I'm telling you, these dudes are trained. Like they're sparred hard, all of that stuff. And then they use that at parties.
See,
Like,
Bro,
like,
that
look at
is that is like
no, but it's like what I think is it's
that's
just like,
crazy, right?
yes, that's like
Psychopaths.
but it's
lock them up.
yeah, no, but it's stupid if you do think about it. Like they're trying to, let's say, get in a fight, impress some girls or like whatever like that. It's like if I get into it, let's say I get into a fight with someone, and well, let's say some normal guy works whatever, like a job, has a career, whatever like that, and it's like if I fight someone, the consequences that I will get are going to be 3 times as high as a normal person.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And it's like if somebody is like, let's say, training that in a garage just for the purpose to go out and let's say like go to parties and like fight people, it's just like if they get like caught or like police or whatever get involved, that's what the consequences will be.
Yeah.
Bro, how
You know?
bored are you too?
Yeah.
How bored are you to do that?
I think it's
training.
mentally ill.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
mentally ill.
They're training hours and hours every day, so they could be like legit ready for any situation.
Yeah.
Nah, bring them to our gym.
You know what I mean? I don't know that. I just saw,
Yeah, I
I just saw the
know.
story,
Yeah.
right? But it's just like, man, there's kids like that all around the world, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Not just like in America or where Russia. They're training. This is a worldwide sport, man. So
Yeah.
like,
But I think that could be a different type of trauma as well, though, because they could have got bullied and they could have been like, "What?
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
to da da da."
they're
You know?
bulletproof themselves,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
Nice way to loop
That's
that
one thing
back.
about fighting, man. Doesn't matter how big you are.
It
You can be the
don't.
smallest dude. You train and you go out there.
Just need
and
to hit
wreck-
that chin right. Yeah,
wreck-
you're going to sleep,
wreck
you know.
people, man. Like small, like even like a Jada. You know what I mean? Like against like a
Bro,
dude that's untrained,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jada would just go nuts on it.
Bing.
Yeah.
But another thing as well, it's like I've witnessed it, you know, it's like you can be like one of the best fighters in the world. 6 dudes jump on top of you from all angles.
Yeah.
It does not matter how good you are.
Two.
Two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like and that's the thing. It's like it's let's say like in like street fights or whatever like that, there's no such thing as a one-on-one anymore. Like you know what I mean? There's gonna be one
Yeah.
guy there maybe with some sort of like I don't know weapon or like whatever. All it takes is someone, let's say, get a glass bottle and smash it
Yeah.
over your head. You're unconscious. You know what I mean? So it's
This is not the 1800s, you know what I mean? Like it's not like the dude took his gloves and he
I was
came up
gonna
to you
say-
and slapped you across the
there's no
Yeah.
sin.
We're dueling.
Yeah.
As I
That's a duel stuff.
no chivalry.
It's like,
Chivalry,
as I
yeah.
said, it's like an uncontrolled environment. I feel like any fighter who has, you know, is like clued in, is like has an idea of what he's like. If he identifies that he's in an uncontrolled situation and things go bad, the smartest thing to do is get out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
also
And that's
not-
the first thing that I would do if I was in a situation like that, you know, because I don't want to get involved in things I don't have to, you know.
It's also not like a movie or a video game where like guys attack you one at a time and they all
Yeah.
stand there and wait for you to beat the one
Yeah.
guy and then they come in.
It's not like a Bruce Lee movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like you walk into a room of 15 dudes and be like, hey, go to the center,
Yeah.
get surrounded on
Bang.
purpose.
bang,
So you
Yeah.
can just
bang.
mess everybody up in
Yeah.
all different angles. Yeah.
If only.
It looks nice. It looks nice. Yeah.
I remember one time I got jumped.
Yeah.
Brother, all right, let me tell the whole story. So my sister, she has a mouth on her. So this is when Soccer Boppers was out. So I remember it vividly. The guys in our cul-de-sac, they had Soccer Boppers and they was going around, they was like punching each other, and then my sister said something, and then they like punched her. So I'm playing like SmackDown versus Raw, and I hear Keith, they hit me. So I like my duties. Go down there and we start fighting. And I'm like, bro, this is gonna be like the movies. Da, 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 da. Bro, they just jump on me and like one bite me. I remember going to the doctor. Like my mom took me to the doctor because for like 6 weeks I had a bite mark on my chest. So like the craziest part about it is I actually won. Like I beat them and I won, and they was gonna take me to jail for beating up 3 guys. And like their mom was gonna like press charges and all of that. But I remember vividly thinking about Bruce Lee, like this is gonna be like that. It was nothing like that, bro. When I tell you they jumped on me and like took my shoe and like I had to just swing, like
Fight or flight.
yeah, like
Fight or flight.
bro, is nothing like that. And I've seen people get jumped in high school. Actually, I went to Mount Zion, and it was like gazelles jumping on like like bro, it was just crazy. It was hair flying. There are no rules there.
Yeah.
It isn't a referee. It's like you go in there to kill or to win and get out. It's no, hey, it's your turn, it's my turn. No, bro, no. And I've seen it. So just connecting all of this and even thinking about those guys, they can go in there and jump people with their combat experience, and that's like hell. Like why as a human being would you want to inflict that on another person? You know what I'm saying? Like
That's some trauma.
That's
yeah.
No.
That's some psycho shit for real.
And it's and as well, and like it's like I've heard stories back home of like you hit someone and they drop and they hit their head off concrete or whatever, and they're dead. They're getting done for manslaughter.
Yeah.
What's that? It's like that's a few years of prison.
That's
So
crazy, bro.
So it's
6
like-
minimum.
And it's like and like that's a consequence. You know what I mean? So it's like I get back to them guys you were talking about, like of them training or whatever, fight people at parties and all.
Somebody.
That's a consequence that they need to like seriously think about.
That's
you know?
scary, bro.
And
Like,
it's exactly it's
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
There's been kids now, this generation of the young generation that was like born into it. Like their parents trained and then they trained.
yeah.
And or if they didn't train, their parents put them into jujitsu like at a young age, and they've been training since 5 years old to like 21. Right? They're in college.
Yeah.
They're trained killers in college.
But I feel like
They could go around and murder people at night.
but even with that, I feel like, let's say jujitsu, you learn a certain respect for humans and a certain humility.
If you do it at the right place.
Yeah. So I feel like if you grow up in it, I don't really feel like it's that bad, because you understand like you can hurt people and you understand what you can really do. But these dudes that are training in their garage watching YouTube videos, they haven't been beat per se, you know. So
it's like I've got enough hidings beat up enough times in the gym to learn to respect the sport, respect the martial arts that we do, you know. And I think it's just like, you know, like it's like the internet's out now, so let's say anyone can learn it. But it's like I've been in the gym, been the nail countless times, countless times. So it's like you know what it's like, and then it's like the more you get beat up in the gym, and the more you learn how to respect other people and the sport. So it's just it's like it really, like it's down to the individual. But I feel like any proper martial artist has been the nail, has been beat up, and it's like I say for that reason, it's like it's why we are the way we are. You
Yeah.
know?
I think there's martial artists, there's fighters, and there's just meatheads.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
those guys
definitely,
coming out
my
of
man.
like trying to find fights, they're just meatheads.
No, definitely.